Hi, welcome to Biker TV and Tech Tips with Wally. This week I want to talk a little bit about air cleaners. Clean air cleaner, more performance, more power. Probably you're into that. Let's look at the history of filters. They've changed a little bit over the years. You know, some of the early filters were like they had in cars and trucks back in the old days. They were actually oil bath air cleaners. They went from there, they went to a kind of a wire mesh type filter in a lot of the bikes, old Harleys. Then they went to something like what I have in my hand. This is a foam type air cleaner that we used actually up until Evolution days even. And what you would do with these, you'd clean them out with mild detergent and hot water, re-oil them, put them back in. Let's have a look at some of the more modern filters that they're using in the bikes today. I've got a stock motorcycle here. This has the stock filter in it. Let's have a look at that and see what's involved in cleaning it. One fastener, the cover's off. You want to set your cover down on something so you don't scratch it because it's a nice chrome cover. Once you get the outer cover off, you've got 3 more fasteners that'll come off. That'll take your actual filter element off. And if you look up here, on each side of your filter, we've got little rubber hoses that are coming out of passageways that are going into the cylinder head. And they're coming into the back portion of your air cleaner. That's what those are. That's actually where your engine breathes. Just like us, your engine has to breathe. And there are times when you may have a little bit of oil in that air that's coming out of the heads when it's breathing. You might find a little bit of oil in your air cleaner when you take it off. That's normal. If you find enough oil that it's actually running out of your air cleaner, that's not normal. So at that point, you might want to take it in and let a trained technician have a look at it and determine why that's taking place. Once you've cleaned your filter or replaced it, but time to put it back on. A couple things you want to watch for. There's a gasket in here that you're probably going to want to replace. Make sure that your hoses are, those breather hoses that I talked about, are back into place. Torque your fasteners. The last thing you want to do is start stripping out some threads and have to replace some very expensive parts because you didn't torque them properly. This particular one that I have is a Screaming Eagle type air cleaner. It's a little bit different than what you might think though. It kind of looks like a K&N filter, but it's not a K&N. And they say right on it, dry type element, do not oil. So it's very important that after you clean this one, you don't spray it with K&N oil. It's not made to have oil on it. This filter, what you do is you wash it again with mild detergent, warm water. When you're finished, shake as much water out of it as you can, let it dry. Don't use a heat gun on this one to dry it. Don't blow compressed air through it to dry. Let it sit and dry. When it's all dry, have a look at it. Make sure again that light's passing through the air cleaner, nice and even. It's nice and clean. Reinstall it. This is a K&N filter. This filter is made to be oiled. And if you look at the two of them, you can see that they do look quite similar. So it's very important that you check and see what type you have in your bike so you don't oil the wrong one. Why don't we just take a minute and walk around the shop and have a look at some of the different air cleaners and where they're located on our bikes. You know, on most Harleys we'd find the gas tank right here. On the V-Rod, that's a little bit different. That's where our air cleaner is located. Let's have a look at that. There we go, there's our air cleaner on the V-Rod. It's cleaned the same way. You clean it in warm, with a mild detergent and warm water. Let it dry, check it to make sure it's in good condition, put it back in. Another filter that's kind of unique to a certain motorcycle is on this Harley XR 1200. This is where the filter is located on that bike. Cleaned the same way, washed in mild detergent, warm water, dried and put back in.